After 3 years of absence, just a tour name alone has set social media ablaze, not with cheers, but with controversy. BLACKPINK, once the global icon of K-pop girl groups, is making a comeback. But is this return a glorious new beginning or a somber finale under the label Deadline? Deadline, a name that hits fans like a punch. On May 16, YG Entertainment unexpectedly announced BLACKPINK's new world tour, named Deadline, marking their first reunion on stage after more than a year and a half of inactivity as a full group. Instantly, the keyword Deadline soared to global trending status. But instead of being hailed as a triumphant comeback, the name became a subject of ridicule across online communities. Many mocked YG for lazily naming the tour, apparently inspired by the fans' constant pressure to hit the deadline for a comeback after a long wait. Rather than evoking inspiration for a strong revival, Deadline reminds people of a final cutoff, even an end. In business and journalism, deadline means the last limit, and when applied to BLACKPINK, a group facing breakup rumors, it sounds ominous. The teaser for the tour did little to lift spirits. A mere 30-second video shows the word deadline emerging from black sand, with no images of the members, no symbolic message, and no signature soundtrack, far from the high production value expected of BLACKPINK. Fans questioned, has BLACKPINK been abandoned by their own company? A world tour running on empty, no new songs, no album, only faith? Typically, a world tour of this scale accompanies a new music release. But Deadline seems to operate differently. Despite the tour being imminent, YG has yet to confirm any details about new songs, release dates, or albums. On May 25, YG continued to drip-feed information with a company-wide planned video. While rookie groups like Baby Monster and Treasure were introduced with detailed schedules, BLACKPINK was briefly mentioned by Yang Yoon-suk. Information about BLACKPINK's new song will be announced soon, though the release date is not fixed. This brief statement felt like a cold shower to the global Blink community. After almost 3 years of waiting, all they got was a promise. This led to speculation: will BLACKPINK release just a single instead of a full album? Will the tour rely on old hits? And deeper still, is this a disguised farewell tour? New girl group announcement, the spark for breakup rumors? As if to add fuel to the fire, YG announced plans to debut a new 4-member girl group, the same number as BLACKPINK. The first member will be revealed on May 28, with a debut expected later this year. This immediately stirred the fan community. Many believe YG is preparing to replace BLACKPINK with a new version or at least create a successor generation amid the original group's inactivity. The matching member count only fueled rumors that Deadline might actually mark BLACKPINK's end, not their comeback. With BLACKPINK's product still unknown and their return strategy vague, the new girl group announcement felt like the final straw, shattering many fans' hopes. Fanbases shut down, anger no longer silent. For the first time in BLACKPINK's history, multiple major fanbases on X, Twitter, have announced indefinite shutdowns. This move isn't just a symbolic protest but a clear message: fans have reached their limit. From continuous vague updates to feeling ignored by YG's lack of attention to their flagship group, fans feel excluded from a journey they once passionately followed. Behind every closure notice lies silent heartbreak and pent-up disappointment from nearly 3 years of waiting. A glimmer of hope, faith still alive. Yet, not all is bleak. A dedicated faction of core fans, the true Blinks, still believe in BLACKPINK's magic. They think YG's silence could be a deliberate tactic to build anticipation. Holding back details and releasing a minimal teaser might be a way to deliver a shockingly impactful reveal at the last minute. In fact, members Jisoo, Jennie, Lisa, and Rose have all hinted at new projects on personal social media. South Korean media also report that BLACKPINK's new music will drop in June, coinciding with the Deadline World Tour launch. This fuels hope for a full-fledged comeback worthy of the global K-pop queens. Deadline, the end or rebirth? From a controversial name, Deadline has become a symbol of duality: expectation versus disappointment, rebirth versus closure. If BLACKPINK returns with a spectacular new release and a grand tour, Deadline could be remembered as a legendary twist. When everyone expected an ending, it became a new beginning. Conversely, if it ends quietly and unremarkably, Deadline will stand as a mournful finale, closing a glorious chapter of modern K-pop. Regardless, BLACKPINK remains a vital part of millions of hearts worldwide. Ultimately, it may be the fans, not companies or media, who decide whether Deadline is a period or a comma in BLACKPINK's story. As BLACKPINK's highly anticipated comeback draws near, an unexpected storm brews within the fandom community and beyond, threatening to overshadow the global sensation's return. What should have been a celebratory period of excitement is now marked by deep-rooted tensions, confusion, and fan-led protests, signaling an unprecedented crisis for one of K-pop's most iconic girl groups. The calm before the storm? BLACKPINK's world tour titled Deadline was announced by YG Entertainment with great fanfare, promising a monumental return after nearly 3 years of the group's relative silence on the global stage. Expectations soared among fans eager to see Jisoo, Jennie, Lisa, and Rose reunite on stage. Early ticket sales echoed this excitement, with shows selling out rapidly, indicating a sustained and passionate fanbase. Yet, beneath the surface of this commercial success, a simmering dissatisfaction began to surface. The catalyst: lackluster promotions and vague communication. The first cracks appeared following YG Entertainment's announcement of the world tour and the release of a brief teaser video. Instead of dazzling fans with new visuals or a music snippet, the teaser, a mere 30-second clip with the word Deadline emerging from sand against a black and pink backdrop, felt underwhelming. No member appearances, no new song previews, no substantial content. Fans criticized YG for this minimalist approach, interpreting it as a sign of creative stagnation and poor strategic planning. The choice of the word deadline itself sparked heated debates online, with some interpreting it as a cynical nod to the pressure YG faces to deliver after a long hiatus, while others saw it as a harbinger of the group's potential end. Compounding the dissatisfaction was YG's repeated failure to provide concrete information about new music. On the eve of the comeback, details about BLACKPINK's new songs remained vague, with no album announced and release dates unconfirmed. This lack of transparency frustrated fans who had waited patiently for years. Fanbase shutdowns, a cry for change. The mounting frustrations reached a breaking point as several prominent BLACKPINK fanbases, especially active on the social platform X, formerly Twitter, announced temporary or indefinite shutdowns. These fanbases, typically hubs of relentless support, community events, and updates, cited their actions as protests against what they perceive as YG's neglect and mishandling of the group's comeback. The shutdowns serve multiple symbolic functions. They express anger and disappointment, call attention to the perceived disrespect from the agency, and send a unified message demanding better treatment and communication. These actions are unprecedented for BLACKPINK fandoms and reveal the deep emotional toll the ongoing uncertainty has taken. Speculation and rumors: is BLACKPINK's future at risk? Amid the chaos, rumors swirl that YG is preparing to debut a new 4-member girl group, the same number of members as BLACKPINK, further fueling concerns about the original group's stability. Fans speculate that this new group could replace or overshadow BLACKPINK, especially if the current group's comeback fails to meet expectations. The fact that YG has not publicly committed to a full album or multiple releases for BLACKPINK exacerbates fears that the Deadline tour might be more of a farewell performance rather than a fresh start.